Nigerians have more experience with South Africa than South Africa has with Nigeria.
Because South Africans, they don't want to go into Nigeria. I don't know why.
Nigerians have traveled more. South Africa just used to travel a lot to that UK. Let me go to UK, but Nigeria runs UK also. Nigerian UK nationals, there's a lot of them.
There's a lot, man.
Nigeria has more experience when it comes to being multicultural. Nigeria has been out there. That's why they just respond, like you said, they just react to South Africa. Black South Africa will say some shit or do some shit and then Nigeria reacts.
Yes.
But Nigeria is not out here to initiate any form of freaking challenge or any form of freaking aggression or confrontation. They're too busy making money for that. They're too busy freaking winning BET awards, like I said.
Yes.
Yeah, they're not in the mood to start some stupid shit. If there's no money there, Nigeria's not there. They just react. Whenever Black South Africa comes out here and says some shit, then Nigeria says, hey.
Yes.
Out. And then everybody comes out. And the Nigerian took it to another level. Yeah, why do you let sleeping lions lie? Or sleeping dogs?
Let the sleeping dogs lie.
Let the sleeping dogs lie.
Yes.
Yeah, don't provoke.
You see South Africa, you see countries like South Africa, Botswana. I love those people so much. Now what I'm going to tell you about these people, if you're a Nigerian and you have ears, listen. Let me break some secrets to you people now. Listen, you know, Nigerians, we claim to be strong, we claim to be wise, but we're the dumbest of all. That is why our politicians play around with us. Now watch this. I was intimated that in Botswana, a child of a politician wanted to speak in matters that concern the public, especially on poverty. Now what this boy stated is actually a good thing that would help the poor. Yet Botswana people told him to shut the hell up, as he does not know anything about poverty. To shut the hell up, as he does not know a dime about poverty. So he should allow those who have had such experience to talk about it. You see here, when you see countries like Botswana, you see countries like South Africa, that's when you know that there's actually hope in some of these sub-Saharan African countries. Like, there's actually hope with black people in African countries. But when you look at Nigerians, you would almost think that there is no hope with Africa. Now, the politicians in countries like South Africa and Botswana, you know, they get their heads together because they know the people are actually one. They know that the people are actually one. But now let me tell you something about Nigerians. Nigerians that claim to be strong, when they come to other people's country, they now start giving you the impression that they are very knowledgeable people. Come to Nigeria and see that these people are just daft heads. Now let me prove this. You see this case between Natasha, a Senate president of Kogi, whatever, blah blah blah, a female, very fine woman, and then the Senate president, sorry, a senator. The woman is actually a senator representing whatever Kogi, blah blah. I don't care about all these politicians. And then the Senate president. Now, here's something that happens in Nigeria. Nigeria is a place where the bourgeois are the big men, the politicians. The bourgeois, when they want to inflict pain and victimize the peasants are people like us now. They will come together and effect their plans, depriving and looting from us, enriching themselves and be staying fresh. Now, but when they begin to fight amongst themselves, they will come and be disturbing our ears. And then guess Nigerians will now come and say, justice for this person. Yes, she's a very strong woman. Blah 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 blah. Oh God, Nigeria, what happened to your sense? Now, the woman Natasha is beginning to get a taste of what happens to students in the Nigerian school. She's beginning to get a little bit of a taste of what lecturers do to Nigerian students, who are of course peasants and nobodies. These things happen to nobodies, and nobody talks about it. No politician talks about it. When there is a problem, when peasants need help, politicians will pay deaf ears. But when somehow a kingdom is divided against itself, when these politicians, who are the bourgeois, begin to have issues amongst themselves, they will now come and be disturbing Nigerians, the peasants. Now the peasants, owing to the fact that they are deluded, owing to the fact that they don't have brains, they have small brains, owing to the fact that they are daft-headed, they will now take one side. Yes, this woman, speak out, I like your eloquence, blah 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 blah, you should be the next Nigerian president. She is only speaking out because that thing has affected her. Her speaking out is owed to her selfish interest. Nigerians don't know. That's South Africa, I love you people. Botswana, I love you people. That's why you can't try these things in South Africa. You cannot try it. I know these people, like I know South Africans on that. They will desert you. They will tell you, please go and settle your matter. All these you bourgeois. When you people were chopping on the same table. Now this lady is a family friend to the Senate president. They used to rapport when they used to sit on the same seat while eating our money. They used to sit on the same seat when they victimized the peasants. They used to sit on the same seat. They used to hold hands when they travel abroad, while we stay here and suffer from hunger. They used to stay on the same seat while they count their billions and their millions, while peasants suffer and die of hunger. But now something breaks out. They come to disturb us on Facebook and Rise News and what have you. Now Nigerians who are daft-headed. That is why they would see. That's why when the white man said that Africa is a farmland, they meant Nigeria. You can twist Nigerians anyhow. Nigerians are the only people that would boast about a man. They will boast with a man that victimizes them, just to prove to other African countries that they are wealthy. I've stated this before. Now this one is coming to the you people should go and settle your problems. But Nigerians cannot do that. Nigerians are by her. We're speaking. She's representing every woman. But women are being abused every now and then in the university, the peasants, and nobody spoke for them. They travel there with their children and go travel abroad, make a trip abroad, do whatever they want to do. Now there's a problem amounting to them, and Nigerians are involved. The peasants are involved. The peasants will not be involved when they will come together and embrace themselves yet again. Nigerians are stupid. Masses.
Hi everyone, I am Oluwatograin and I'm actually at the Nairobi airport waiting for my next flight. I recently just left South Africa, and not only did I leave, I basically escaped that country. I think the misconception is that people think that when you go to abroad, if you're an African and you go to abroad, you've made it, right? Like you've made it, you've arrived. And most people see South Africa as like abroad, right? It's not. It's still an African country, and the fact that it just got grey listed is also like huge. Okay, that's what I'm saying. I've escaped the country. Like I took my bags and I was on the go. Okay, I'm excited to go to Nigeria. Like, to be honest, I don't care what nobody gotta say about that country. It's my country. I love it. That's where I want to be. I feel like there's a lot of opportunities there for me, and I'm just, ready to receive, okay, with open arms, okay. And literally I'll be starting from scratch, but it's worth it, instead of being stuck in a country where they even want you out anyways. And yeah, I just feel like Nigeria is a beautiful country. We love each other, we help each other, like that's a big deal. We help each other out a lot. And yeah, I'm just literally so excited that I'm on my way there, and I've been getting so many confirmations because I'm a spiritual person. So I've been getting like so many confirmations of like me leaving, and I'm finally doing it, and it's a dream come true. So yeah, I love Nigeria, and that's where I want to be, at least for now. I'm going back to my country. I don't care what nobody say about Nigeria. That's my country, and I must stick beside my country. I must stick beside her. I must stick beside she, okay?
Listen, I've come to a level in my life where if I see a person, a Nigerian, that wants to turn South Africans, I could knock you out one-on-one. I'll just knock you out. Like, I've come to that level in my life. I'll just knock you out. Now, the reason I would knock you out is that you're just lying. You're lying. Nigerians are half-wits compared to South Africans. Like, Nigeria is a piece of meal compared to South Africans. I'm telling you the truth. I'm not missing words. Let me shock you people. I can raise an argument and win it that this Chidemo of a girl, inwardly, she would be shedding tears on the grounds that she was rejected by South Africans. Nobody would feel good to be rejected by South Africans, only to be accepted by Nigerians. Like, it's just like you to get rejected by God and be accepted by the devil. It's as simple as it is. And why am I saying this? Listen, I recall that growing up, when our father offered us the privilege of this big satellite dish, I had this experience of watching South African channels like the E.TV, the SABCs, that kind of a thing. Right? So I recall that those television channels were part of the things that shaped our lives, the lives of I and my siblings, in thinking in a civilized way. Recall that before then, we've been exposed to Nigerian channels. And the thing with Nigerian channels is that even within it, you could see criminality in it. You could see substandardness in it. You could see incompetence in it. I mean, why would a Nigerian open his mouth to taunt South Africans where everything that works in Nigeria belongs to South Africans? Tell me any other satellite dish that does better like DSTV. South Africa. A state begins to rejoice when ShopRite comes to it. I recall when ShopRite came to Enugu, 2011 and 2012 precisely, can't check, to tell you people that I know these things. I know how ShopRite and Game shaped the whole of Enugu. It changed everything about Enugu. ShopRite. Or you want to talk about MTN? That's why when we hear Glow, Airtel, Etisalat, blah, it was MTN that was the crux of the matter. It was MTN. Yo, it was MTN that gave Nigeria a breathing space. It was MTN. Everywhere you freaking go. Before we had all this Glow, blah, 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 blah. I tell you the truth. So before you as a Nigerian open, see, you know, let me tell you something. Nigerians often tell South Africans, in a bid to mock them, that yeah, they are slave to white people in their country, blah blah blah. No, that's kind of this. First of all, you have to understand that Nigerians are hypocrites. These are people that would tell you, you're trying to fake how you speak. You're trying to fake how you speak. But then, when they see Wole Soyinka and Chinua Achebe speaking really good, come to the comment section, they will say, wow, these guys actually speak very good. These guys actually spoke very well. They were really eloquent. Oh, check out the eloquence and all this. And you're like, so you guys actually like people that speak English really good, right? But then you people are all hypocritical. Now, this is the same with Nigerians. They could come and tell South Africans, yeah, look at you people. You people work with white people, blah, blah, blah. But look at Nigerians. Nigerians are the ones that can only wish that white people are in their countries. Now, when you hear, like, Nigerians envied our fathers who had the privileges of being taught by white people in their community schools. This is why when you listen to our fathers talk and reason, you see that they actually talk differently from us. You see that standards had fallen in our time in comparison to the days of our fathers. Why? Because our fathers had the privileges of being taught by white people. Missionary schools had the privileges of being headed by white proprietors. Parishioners were able to see white people, the number of all these people, and things were a lot better, things were a lot simpler, things were more clinical, things were more better off, things were tangible, things were original, things were standardized, things were a lot more proficient, things were a lot more effective then. These same Nigerians that would want to mock South Africans on their acquaintance with white people still travel, leave Nigeria, run away and go to a white man's country. But look at South Africans that have achieved. Oh, Nelson Mandela, the Jesus of Africa, was able to ensure that white people stayed so that they can unionize with them.
Hi everyone, it's your girl Lerato, it's your girl Tandeka. How are you all doing? Why I love South Africa is because they love their natural hair. Their dreadlock, you can use your natural hair to go to a special event. So coming from a place whereby when you do your natural hair, they downgrade you, and seeing people that embrace natural hair, it's made me to love South Africa. And as a lover of natural hair, I was so happy to be among them. Another reason is their entrepreneurial spirit. These people love to buy South Africa products. Once you are entrepreneur, you make things in South Africa, you make it professional needs. Trust me, they are going to patronize you. They love buying things made in South Africa. They don't care about the price. Once it's made in South Africa, they will support you. I love you all.
I remembered something about South Africans and Nigerians, and I laughed. And listen to this, it's probably going to make you laugh. Do you remember those days in Nigeria were shouting xenophobia because South Africans took to apprehending or attending to Nigerians violently? So they were saying South Africans envy Nigerians and that's why they are attacking them, blah 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 blah. So you know the funny thing, Nigerians now said, if South Africans are attacking our brothers in their home and destroying their properties, we'll go and start destroying all the investments of South Africans in Nigeria. And you know, it was a very simple question that made them rethink. A very simple question. If you spoil the investments of South Africans in Nigeria, who do you think you are affecting? Who do you think you're affecting? I mean, let's face it, South African investment in Nigeria had given more employment to Nigerians more than the parastatals in Nigeria. South African investments in Nigeria had given more jobs to Nigerians more than Nigerian institutions and parastatals. The South African institutions and investments in Nigeria treat Nigerians better than the investments of Nigerians. So they said, if you go to destroy ShopRite, do you know how you would have affected Nigerians? If you go to destroy DSTV, do you know what you would have done? Because DSTV is all there is that we watch. In fact, in Nigeria, if you have DSTV, you're seen as a very rich man. If you can pay yearly, you're seen as, if you can pay the whole bouquet, you're seen as the whole rich man. If you can pay all the plant, you're seen as the rich. So we use it to compete amongst ourselves in Nigeria. Or is it MTN? Go and destroy MTN now. Go and destroy it. Or there are so many things you can't even do it. So do you see where Nigerians are handicapped? They are handicapped. They are handicapped. They just make noise. Blah 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 blah. Woof 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 woof. Dogs, noise makers.
I'm a Nigerian who lives here in South Africa. I'm here to talk about my experience studying in South Africa. So quality of education, oh my God. Now in Nigeria, the quality of education is not research based. You are literally sold a textbook, at least from my own experience. But here in South Africa, schools, in terms of education is research based, yes. At least the university I studied, the University of KwaZulu, who lives here in South Africa. I'm here to talk about my experience studying in South Africa after studying in Nigeria, okay? I studied here in South Africa in the University of KwaZulu-Natal, where I did my human resource management honors degree and my master's degree, okay? So I just gave a brief history just for you to understand that I know what I am saying when I am talking about the systems, because I studied full-time, and most things I'll be actually saying is based on my own experience and based on the university I studied. Here in South Africa, I studied in the University of KwaZulu-Natal, which is a prestigious university in South Africa. So when it comes to my experience studying in South Africa versus my experience studying in Nigeria, in terms of delay, in Nigeria, we had a lot of delays, a lot of road bumps during the course of our study. We had what we call ASU strike. ASU strike is like where lecturers go on strike and they can go on strike for like 6 months before it's called off. So we always had that ASU strike once in every year, if I might say so, which delayed our course of study, obviously. Yes, every student in Nigeria may have experienced this. But here in South Africa, you have no delay when you're studying. If you're studying a 1-year course, it's usually a 1-year course. You have a little bit of delay, probably when students are protesting, it can last for like 1 week and that is it. Or highest 2 weeks, which I don't think it normally lasts 2 weeks, okay? So the only delay you can experience in South Africa when studying is just a little bit of delay, not so much, okay? So when it comes to structure, the difference in South African university structure and Nigerian university structure, okay? When it comes to Nigerian university structure, Nigerian university lacks basic amenities, at least the one I attended. You hardly see structures that contain the whole students. Like some students literally stand in the lecture hall. Yes, that's how bad it is. Some students don't even have a lecture venue. Sometimes we wait outside waiting for other people to finish their lectures and we run just to have our lectures. Even during exams, you hardly have your venue. It's running from one venue to another, so that's Nigerian university for you. Okay, I just want to put it out there that there are some courses in that are given preference. Let me just put it that way, and that is the truth. Even a state university and a federal university in Nigeria, courses like medical students, they have their own world. They are in their own world. You know, they provide everything for them. And I think law, they also have everything. So those that studied medicine and law, and probably engineering, if I may say so, they have a lot of things They don't struggle with other students that are struggling, especially medicine. They have their everything, but other students in Nigeria struggle. Let me just put it out now. But here in South Africa, oh my God, every department, every faculty, every school have their own amenities, like have their own lecture venue. I don't want to even start saying the kind of how switched and how equipped their lecture venue are with projectors and with air conditioner, heaters, and things that work. That is how it is here in South Africa. My experience studying in Nigeria versus South Africa in terms of quality of education, oh my God. Now in Nigeria, the quality of education is not research based. You are literally sold a textbook, at least from my own experience. We're talking about, let's say, 10 years ago, at least for me. So we are sold a textbook and handouts. So you do your assignments and everything from that textbook. That is how we studied back home in Nigeria. But here in South Africa, schools, in terms of
South Africans getting free education and still complaining. Come to Nigeria, you pay for school fees, buy generator, buy water, and your lecturer still sells you handouts like he's running a printing business. Meanwhile, half of the class wants to be lecturers too, not to teach, so that they can sell their own handouts one day.
There are two nationalities that we find it displeasures as South Africans whenever we're voicing our concern regarding the matters of our country: the Zimbabweans and Nigerians. Whenever we as South Africans are voicing our opinions or voicing our displeasures or unhappiness about the affairs of our country, you have the Zimbabweans and Nigerians interfering. You guys, you're not the only Africans that are in South Africa. We have people from Botswana, from Namibia, from Mozambique. They keep quiet when we are voicing issues of our own country. Can you please learn to take a back seat and let us South Africans fix our country the way we wanted to fix it? We are not going to run away from our country like you did. We're not going to cross borders, run away from our affairs or our internal problems like you did, and go and make a noise in other countries. We stand for this country, and we do whatever that is necessary to ensure that South Africa, it becomes the South Africa that we want. Please.
As a patriotic Nigerian, I can tell you that Nigerians are not in any way close to democracy. We are not experiencing democracy, and the government is not exercising democracy for us. There's nothing like democracy in Nigeria. Like, democracy is the government of the people for the people. A country whereby the people have no right to speak. A country whereby the people have no right to complain. A country whereby the people cannot even say what their problem is. If you do, it's either you are silenced, you are threatened, you are bullied, you are asked to remove that particular video, that particular comment you've posted online. Like, in some cases, you are killed forever. Like, nobody will trace you. They won't know what happened to you. That is the government Nigerians are passing through. That is the government Nigerians are saying. It is called an autocratic government, whereby the government alone has the right to decide for the people, whereby the government alone has the right to speak for the people, whereby the government alone has the right to say, oh, this is what we want for you people. The people of the country has no right. That is what Nigerians are passing through. Now take, for instance, with other countries. I use South Africans as an example too much because I live in South Africa. I see what happened here. I see how the people react to things that they don't like, and I see how the government come to their aid. I see how the government respond to them immediately. I've never seen a South African coming out to say, oh, remember I posted a video online talking about the injustice that the government is doing to us, and now somebody from the government is calling me, threatening me to remove the video, whatever I posted, to tender an apology to the government. I've never seen a South Africa coming online to do it. But in Nigeria, immediately you decide to speak against the government. Probably what you are saying around is overwhelming you. You don't like it. You are almost falling into depression. You don't like the situation of things. Immediately you decide to come online to speak about it. And that video went viral. Like you are in big trouble. Ah, God, it's so overwhelming in this country. It's so overwhelming in Nigeria that you have no right to speak. We are not practicing democracy. And this thing of celebrating Democracy Day in Nigeria should stop, because if you agree with me, if you check around, you see that there's nobody in Nigeria that has spoken that the government is listening to. There's nothing as a citizen of that country that you've said that the government have ever listened to. Instead, they will threaten you. Instead, they will send some useless talk to you to come and bully you, to come and threaten you, to come and like do whatever that is deemed fit for them. That is what the people of Nigeria is passing through. Like, there's nothing like democracy. You have no right to speak. You can't speak. You can't even breathe. Whatever the government is doing, they believe is right. The people should go ahead with it. The people should take it. The people should swallow it. The people should embrace it. That is what the government of the country called Nigeria is melting out of the people. So they should just keep silent. Immediately you want to speak, just know that your life is at risk. Your family, everybody close to you, their life is at risk. That is what Nigerians are passing through. Like, God help everyone living in Nigeria. Yo.
What if I told you that the change Nigerians are desperately looking for isn't thousands of miles away in Canada or the UK, but just a short flight down south? That's right, South Africa, despite its own challenges, has a few powerful lessons that could help Nigeria rise from the ashes of bad governance, failing infrastructure, a broken education system, and a democracy that feels more like a joke than a system of the people, by the people, for the people. Now, before you roll your eyes and say, "But South Africa has problems too," hear me out. This isn't about painting South Africa as perfect. It's about learning from the progress they've made, the mistakes they've owned, and the boldness of their youth to demand better, loudly, consistently, and fearlessly. Nigeria has a population full of brilliant minds, incredible culture, vast resources, and youth that could power a revolution. But right now, that potential is being wasted, exported, and buried. Let's start with governance. In South Africa, for all its issues, accountability is more than a buzzword. Ministers have been forced to resign for corruption. Presidents have faced the courts. And yes, it's messy. It's political. But it's happening. The judiciary speaks and even the president listens, well, most of the time. Compare that to Nigeria, where politicians rob the country blind and then get invited to speak at conferences. Where political godfathers sit like kings and appoint their puppets. Nigeria must adopt a system where no one is above the law. Not the president, not a senator, not a governor, not even a local councillor. And that comes from building institutions that are actually independent, not just in name but in power. South Africa's public protector, the courts, and civil society have all proven that you can checkmate the powerful when the people demand it. Nigeria needs to clean house. And that starts with making the system work, not just for politicians, but for everyday people. Now let's talk about education. South Africa spends over 6% of its GDP on education. The country has challenges, but their universities compete globally. The students protest when things go wrong. Remember #fees must fall. South African youth don't sit and wait. They organize. They march. They make noise. And they force the government to respond. In Nigeria, schools can close for months due to ASUU strikes, and the response is usually silence, or migration. People pack their bags and say, "I'm going abroad." But running isn't the solution. Building is. Nigerian youth need to adopt that same South African fire. Organize. Speak up. Demand better universities. Demand investment in education, in skills, in research. Don't let politicians tell you that the country is broke while their kids school in London and party in Dubai. Now on to infrastructure. South Africa has working airports, functioning rail networks, and roads that aren't death traps. Yes, Corruption still exists there too, but at least you can drive from Johannesburg to Durban without falling into a crater. In Nigeria, a pothole isn't a hole, it's a swimming pool. Power supply is still a dream, and our major cities flood after 15 minutes of rain. We keep blaming the rain, the economy, and now even God. But the truth is, there's no excuse anymore. What Nigeria can learn here is simple. Infrastructure is not just about pouring concrete, it's about long-term planning, maintenance, and accountability. Stop awarding contracts to cousins, girlfriends, and ghost companies. Start giving them to professionals, to engineers, to people with actual plans. South Africa's infrastructure isn't world-class, but it works, because there are systems to keep things moving and people who get punished when they fail. Now let's talk about democracy. In South Africa, people protest, often, against power cuts, against corruption, against housing issues, and they protest with teeth. The government knows it cannot afford to ignore the voice of the people for too long. Nigerians, on the other hand, often wait for elections, get offered a bag of rice, vote for the same recycled leaders, and then complain for the next 4 years. That cycle needs to break. Democracy isn't just voting once every 4 years. It's activism, it's protests, it's writing, it's organizing, it's refusing to normalize failure. The South African youth protest because they know democracy isn't a spectator sport. Nigerians must learn the same. The power belongs to the people, but only if the people use it. And here's the real heart of the matter, the Nigerian youth. The future is literally in their hands. But what are they doing with it? Too many are running away. Brain drain is real. We're exporting our best doctors, engineers, artists, and creatives to countries that didn't raise them, didn't invest in them, and often don't value them the way their own homeland should. But who's going to fix Nigeria if everyone leaves? Yes, leaving is sometimes necessary. Safety, opportunity, a better life, we get it. But imagine if even a fraction of those who left decided to stay and fight instead. Not with guns, but with ideas. With boldness. With political movements. With businesses that refuse to bribe. With startups that build instead of exploit. Imagine if that same energy used to get visas and chase asylum was used to demand policy change, organize community projects, or run for office. South Africa has its struggles. High unemployment, power cuts, corruption. But their people are loud. They're engaged. And they don't just accept things. That's the difference. Nigerians need to stop coping in silence. Stop hiding behind prayers while refusing to protest. Even God is waiting for action. Nigeria needs a generation of youth who don't just escape, but who engage. Who build, who fight, who demand, and who believe that the country can be better because they refuse to accept less. The time for blaming the older generation is over. They did what they did. Now it's your turn. Look to South Africa. See what's working. See what's not. But above all, learn from their courage to speak up. Their ability to organize. Their relentless protests and their demand for justice. It's time Nigerians stop looking for rescue from abroad and start becoming the rescue their country needs. Change isn't a miracle, it's a movement, and that movement starts now, with you.